Okay, so this is going to be kind of a different video than what I normally upload, but there's something that I want to talk about, something that's happening this Sunday, and it is TNA's Slammiversary pay-per-view. So this Sunday, July 20th, I will be wrestling Tessa Blanchard. I actually just got done working out like 2 hours ago, and while I was working out, I was listening to a podcast where Tessa was talking about me and our history, I guess. So I kind of just wanted to turn on the camera and speak about it. I haven't thought about what I want to say. I think I'm just going to touch on some things that she mentioned and hopefully I make sense. So for those of you who don't know, Tessa and I actually go way back. We became friends and met in 2016. So what's that? 9 years ago. And she mentioned in the podcast that she helped me get my first international booking, which is true. In 2017, she helped me get booked on the WrestleCon Women's Super Show. It was actually here in Orlando, which is kind of crazy because now I live in Orlando, so it's kind of a full circle moment. But it is true, she did help me get my first booking in America. She also mentioned how she would wrestle multiple times. She would wrestle twice or 3 times at a show just so that I could have a match. And honestly, that is true. There were times at Shimmer in Chicago and bar wrestling in LA where she would wrestle double duty, sometimes triple duty with no extra pay so that I could have a match. And I think that's where a lot of her resentment to me comes from. But I'm not ashamed or afraid to give credit where credit is due. So yeah, without her doing that, I wouldn't have had some of the opportunities that I did have. She mentioned how I would come and stay at her house and sleep on her couch in Orlando and wrestle on the indies here in America, and that is true. She also mentioned how when she would come to Australia, she would stay at my house, and that is true. We did help each other out. It was a mutualistic friendship, a mutualistic relationship. I don't believe it was one-sided. If she wants to think that she is the reason for some of my success, she can think that. I can say that she did help me, but getting my foot in the door is one thing. She didn't take the bumps for me. She didn't travel the miles for me. Pretty soon after meeting, we became best friends, and we also became tag team partners. So we wrestled as Undeniably Impressive all over America. We were best friends, we were tag team partners, we were opponents, we were gym partners. And our friendship came to, I would say, a sudden end in 2019, around the time where I signed with NXT. And I think her and I both have different stories. I don't know if stories is the right word. Maybe different understandings or different truths to what went down and why the friendship ended. And honestly, I'm not really going to get into that because even though we're not friends anymore, I still have respect for people that have been in my life in the past. So she can have her understanding and I can have my understanding, and that's totally fine. But trying to claim my success when I really started getting successful after we ended our friendship, I think it's kind of bizarre to think that. But this Sunday should be interesting. I mean, she's a former world champion and I am on my journey to becoming the Knockouts world champion. So if I can get rid of her, I think I'll be well on my way to finally winning the Knockouts championship. And looking at the card for Slammiversary, there are big matches on there. There are title matches on there, but I don't think there's any match like Indy versus Tessa. This match is very personal to us, and I'm looking forward to showing her how much I've changed in the 6 years that she hasn't known me and how much I've grown and I've improved. But I'm not taking anything away from her because credit where credit is due. She is an amazing wrestler, but I have something that she doesn't have, and that is the connection with you. The connection with the people that watch my YouTube channel, the connection with the people that chant indie wrestling when I make my entrance. I know having all of you behind me is basically all I need going into this match. So yeah, I kind of just wanted to touch on that and say my piece. If you were in the New York or Long Island area this Sunday, July 20th, please come check out TNA Slammiversary. I'll put the link in the description below because it is going to be phenomenal. But if you can't be there in New York to witness the magic live, you can watch this pay-per-view live on pay-per-view and also on the TNA Plus app. So as well as the ticket link, I will also leave all of that in the description, like right there. Unless you're watching on a TV. Anyways, looking forward to this Sunday. I'll see you there if you're going to be there. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.